What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome to my Week 5 UCL team building video. This week we're going up against my good friend Noah, the hockey gamer. He's the coach of something Karrablasts. I don't remember what the city is. It's Cam something, but... Anyways, looking at his team, I initially wasn't feeling too threatened by it. You can see it down here. He's got Mega Pincer as his main offensive presence. But beyond that, he doesn't have too much. He's got a lot of psychic types. So yeah, going into this, I was feeling pretty confident. Also, I'm realizing my note document looks kind of weird, but whatever. So the first thing I was looking to do was find a counter to Mega Pincer. And even on Smogon, I looked up Mega Pincer and it was like checks and counters. And one of the ones listed for OU as a whole was physically defensive Zapdos. And luckily I have Zapdos. So naturally I looked up physically defensive Zapdos, did some calcs, and yeah, this thing is a monster. Even after Stealth Rocks, after a Swords Dance, and a return, I live that in Oko with Thunderbolt. With the standard spread, there's actually like a 0.3% chance or something like that that Mega Pincer can live from full health from a Thunderbolt. So I added just a little bit more special attack EVs so that it's 100 point. The minimum damage it does is 100.3% with Thunderbolt. So that's pretty good. Other than that, he doesn't have a lot of physical attackers. So Doublade, Durant, maybe Hitmontop, and Basculin. But beyond that, his team is primarily special, and Latios takes on all those Pokemon, or not Latios, Zapdos. Basculin can be kind of a problem if it's choice banded. Waterfall does around 50%, but I Oko it with Thunderbolt. Hitmontop isn't going to do any damage to me, but I am kind of worried if it Toxics me, but I can also Toxic it back. I did have Heat Wave on this, but it really only hits Celebi hard, and I'd much rather Toxic that. So... yeah, something worth noting is that Nidoking completely walls this. I can't do damage to Nidoking, so I need to be very careful about that. And I can still take some special hits if absolutely necessary. Roost to recover HP, and yeah, that pretty much covers Zapdos. The next team member was definitely Heatran. So looking at his team, he's got a lot of fire weakness, and he's got a lot of ground weakness, and almost everything on his team is neutral to Steel, and if it resists Steel, it's definitely weak to one of his other moves. That being said, I know he likes to bring Scarf Nidoking. He's brought in a couple matches. I did some scouting, of course, and he also doesn't bring rocks or spikes a lot, but he likes to bring Hitmontop. That's actually somewhat of a problematic Pokemon for me, but regardless, I have just enough special attack to Oko Celebi after rocks with Overheat, and Overheat is going to do a ton of damage to anything on his team. Lava Plume is still going to do plenty of damage, and the chance to get burns would be really nice. And Earth Power cleans up everything that Lava Plume doesn't. Flash Cannon is kind of to ease prediction, because Flash Cannon 2 KOs most things after rocks. So, yeah, this is easily one of my biggest offensive presences. You'll notice I have 176 speed, and that's just so that I outspeed Choice Scarf Nidoking, Timid Nidoking, by 1 point. So I outspeed everything on his team, unscarfed, and I outspeed Scarf Nidoking. So yeah, that's about Heatran. It's just going to hit hard repeatedly. The next Pokemon is Suicune. So looking at Suicune, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do another Crow-kun. I was considering a Roar-kun set, but in the end, I really needed this thing for special defense. I have a little bit of special defense investment to help me live some Dracos from Latios and some hits from Nidoking. If he's Scarfed, that would be so nice because I can play around with locking him into Ice Beam or Earth Power, and you know, between Zapdos and Heatran I can take those. And then for moves like Sludge Wave, you know, Suicune's gonna be my answer. Scald one-hit KOs Nidoking after rocks. And after one Calm Mind, even Draco Meteor from Life Orb Latios does around 35%. Psyshock does around 45% though, which is kind of concerning. So I do need to be careful for that. This thing can tank hits even from Celebi, even from the grass types on his team, and still tanks hits from the physical attackers while spreading Scald Burns. So this is going to be more of a pivot mon, and hopefully spreading burns that'll rack up some passive damage to set up for a Pokemon that I plan on cleaning up with later in the game. I should also mention, I'm not bringing Mega Altaria yet. It's countered so heavily by Pokemon on his team, whether it's taking quick attacks from Mega Pincer, Psyshock from Latios, but more importantly, stuff like Scarf, Sludge Wave from Nidoking, which does a ton of damage, Iron Head from Doublade, Quillfish resist it. There's just a lot on his team that can deal with Mega Altaria, and Mega Altaria doesn't really hit anything on his team super effectively, stab that is, except for Hitmontop. So yeah, it's not going to be coming with us this time. No specific EVs on Suicune, just as much bulk as possible to live as much as I can. The next member is my Liepard. It's going to be Focus Sash Liepard, and it's very different from the previous Liepards. The previous ones have been more taunt, copycat, kind of preventing other Pokemon from getting moves. This one's a lot more offensive. I'm running Knockoff, Thunder Wave, Encore, and Pursuit because he has a lot of Psychic types. He's got Celebi, Latios, Espeon, and then Grumpig, which he still likes to bring around. So Knockoff not only is going to, get rid of Scarves, Life Orbs, etc. that are really important, especially like Leftovers Mons. Like Hitmontop, Leftovers is its only form of recovery, so getting rid of items is going to be big in this game. And also, if he wants to set up or go for something like Rapid Spin or Protect, I can Encore him into that. Same with Celebi and Recover, Latios and Defog, Mega Pinsir and Swords Dance, Doublade and Swords Dance. A lot of his setup Mons I can counter with my Liepard. And Focus Sash is to ensure that I at least live one hit. Thunder Wave is more of like a last resort if he gets a Quiver Dance up and is out of control. Swords Dance, Mega Pinsir, and I can't do anything about it. Let me check the speed on this again real quick. The speed is 341, so I outspeed Mega Pinsir, so that if he wants to go for Quick Attack, my Thunder Wave will actually outspeed that. And if he went for Swords Dance and then wants to try to Quick Attack the next turn, my Encore will outspeed that. So yeah, Thunder Wave is also there as just like a last resort. Pursuit is there so that if I can bring my Liepard in on Celebi, Latios, Espeon, etc., I can do a ton of damage to those things as they switch out, because Espeon is actually a problematic Pokemon for my team in that it can bounce because of Magic Bounce, Encore, Thunder Wave. It's pretty bulky, and after a Calm Mind, it does a lot of damage with Psyshock, and I have a dedicated physical wall, a dedicated special wall, but between, Dazzling Gleam and Psyshock or Psychic, Espeon puts in a lot of work, and I can't Toxic it or Paralyze it. So yeah, that's a thing. Knockoff, I have just enough attack to, what is it again? I have just enough attack to one-hit KO a Calm Mind Espeon. I have just enough attack to two-hit KO Misdreavus with Knockoff, even after knocking off the first item. I accounted for that. And I also have a guaranteed one-hit KO after rocks on a Life Orb Latios. Kind of specific, but he's brought Life Orb Latios each time he's brought it, so I feel like he's going to bring that. Also, the 112 HP EVs allow me to just barely live Dazzling Gleam from Espeon. Not that it should matter if I still have my Focus Sash intact, but yeah, there's a maximum of 99.6% damage from that Dazzling Gleam, before Calm Mind, of course. Also, 112 HP actually allows me to live a unboosted Hurricane from Vivian. So, yeah, there's some purpose in there. And then the next two members, I was super torn about these members. So, first of all, I'll get into Omastar. Omastar puts in so much work on his team. I was running some calcs, and between Surf, Ice Beam, and Earth Power, he hits almost everything on his team for super effective damage. And Surf Stab does a ton of damage to what doesn't take super effective damage. I was debating, what item do I run on this Omastar, and I was really tempted to go with Focus Sash or Mental Herb, because he has a couple priority users. He's got Mega Pinsir with Quick Attack, he's got Hitmontop with Mach Punch, although I doubt he'll bring it, Doublade with Shadow Sneak potentially, and Basculin with Aqua Jet. So my Omastar is built so that after a -1 defense drop from Shell Smash, I will actually live a Quick Attack from Mega Pinsir, a Sneak Attack from Doublade, and an Aqua Jet from Basculin, but not in conjunction with a Mach Punch for Hitmontop. So I can take all of those on. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to get rid of his priority users so that after a Shell Smash, I can just afford to sweep. Ice Beam, Okos, Celebi, and Latios. Surf does a ton of damage to Espeon. I think it might be a 2-hit KO, or after rocks, it's a 1-hit KO. I think that's what it is. Let me check my little cheat sheet here. Yeah, I'm at 196 special attack investment. So I Oko Celebi with Ice Beam after rocks. I what's it called? I Oko max special defense Doublade after rocks with Earth Power. I 2-hit KO Grumpig if it's specially defensive, even if it has leftovers, after rocks of course, and I Oko Basculin after rocks. and my speed is incredibly specific. It's so that after a Shell Smash, I outspeed Nidoking. Outspeed Scarf Nidoking, that is. So, yeah, the Expert Belt adds some extra damage. I can tank the hits if necessary, but what's going to be difficult is getting a Shell Smash up. He's got a lot of grass types, a lot of special attacking mons, and, you know, of the physical attackers, they all have access to super effective moves like Iron Head, Close Combat, or Earthquake. So, I was really looking for an opportunity to set up with Omastar. And, you know, that could be where something like Encore Paralysis comes in with Liepard, or forcing a switch and getting a double. Something like that on one of his slower mons, although he doesn't have very many slower mons. Or if he's, you know, gonna rapid spin, I could bring in my Omastar or something like that. But a surefire way of getting a setup would be with my Dugtrio. So Dugtrio Focus Sash, this thing's job is just to get up Stealth Rock and Memento. I really don't care this much about it, or care that much about it from a physical attacking standpoint. It can do damage, it can Oko Nidoking, but beyond that it does like 30, 40, maybe 50% to some Pokemon with Earthquake. Sucker Punch if I'm outsped by a Choice Scarf Mon or something like that. Sucker Punch to do like 30 or 40%, especially on his Psychic types. But beyond that, yeah, I want to get up Stealth Rock if necessary, or if possible, and then afterwards Memento. Memento is going to give me a chance to set up with my Omastar so that it lives some hits, and yeah, that's about it. Match should be interesting. It should be good. I noticed I have a lot of defensive mons for his Pokemon, but I don't have very many Pokemon that actually hit a lot of his team hard, so it might be difficult to pick up some kills, but the game plan is going to be whittle away with, by setting up Stealth Rock early, going for, you know, Thunderbolts and such with Zapdos, Scalds with Suicune, hitting hard with Heatran, and then setting up for a late game Omastar sweep. But, you know, rarely do things go according to plan. But let's hope for the best. And I guess that's all. I'll see you guys in the battle. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.